Good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday, June 17th. In our devotion for today, I want to continue with the story of Ruth. If you remember where we left off, Ruth had been accompanying her mother in law, Naomi, back to Naomi's people in Israel. Ruth was a Moabitess, she was a foreigner. Naomi was Jewish. They had lived through tragedy. Naomi lost her husband and both of her sons, and all she had left was her daughter in law. Her daughter in law, instead of looking out for herself and trying to remarry or find favor with her family, find connections or someone to take her in that way, decided to travel across the desert in order to help Naomi return home. When she returned home, Ruth continued to watch over and provide for Naomi, largely through begging and scavenging for food. One of the important lessons that we can learn from this story comes in both chapters 2 and 3. Uh, Naomi and Ruth are basically destitute. They have no money, no way of getting income. They've been abandoned by the world around them. They have suffered through tragedy. They very easily could have developed bitter hearts, especially Ruth at the life she could have had, but didn't or wasn't allowed to have. But instead of developing a bitter heart, Ruth said, I'm going to care for this woman so that Naomi can somehow be reunited and reconciled and reconnected with her extended family. They have to go through some hard times, but through the difficult times, Ruth stays true to who she is and acts with integrity. And it was because she did not want to take shortcuts, and it was because she didn't want to steal or cheat in order just to get more than sustenance level living. Actually, that's why she was noticed. Her integrity, her character, who she was is what actually helped gain her favor and to gain her voice amidst other people and can allow the injustice that happened to her, the abandonment, to be rectified. You see, eventually, what's going to happen is Naomi's extended family is going to realize that they need to care for her and for Ruth in the midst of tragedy. The world had rejected them. They'd lost their husbands, and so they were just left to nothing. But God had instituted a command that these women were to be cared for. They were to be cared for by the extended relatives of Ruth and Naomi, who had not recognized them, had not taken them in, had not been caring for them. A further injustice against them. But instead of becoming bitter and angry, she remained true to doing what she could to care for other people. That's the story of Ruth. And because of that, she is noticed. And because of that, justice does happen. She is able to reconnect. Reconciliation is able to happen. So much more is able to happen because of the integrity of Ruth in caring for others and not cheating, not cutting corners, not doing the thing that would be self-serving. It was the other-centeredness of Ruth that would connect her and would allow and open up further avenues to incredible blessings. And one of the best blessings she gets is the connection to people. It's not necessarily material blessings, although those will come. But she is connected and becomes part of a community because of her other-centeredness, because she doesn't live for herself. And the relationships that she gets, including her future husband, is based on that. They're incredible. It's an incredible blessing and incredible community. Her story is so important that she becomes grafted in and becomes the grandmother, or the great-grandmother, to King David. She is named in the stories. She has a whole book in the Bible named after her. And she wasn't even Jewish. She wasn't even a follower of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob until she met Naomi. Amen. It's a great story. It's a great story to look into, and it's a good story that helps us to understand that we find blessings lead to an incredible life that is beyond us when we understand that the blessings are not rewards for good behavior, but instead they're avenues that connect us to a greater and deeper community and deeper relationships. It is Wednesday. Today is the day that you can bring your donations to church. In June, we're collecting donations for Gigi's Playhouse. Our two big barrels are outside of the entrance C. That's the entrance right under our drive up kind of covering there on the south side of the building. Feel free to check out our Facebook page in order to get a full listing of the things that Gigi's Playhouse has requested. But on every Wednesday in June, we are doing a collection drive for them. Also, this evening we'll have a special, a little bit different prayer meeting, but we'll be having a prayer meeting this evening at 7 p.m. Send me your prayer requests beforehand so that I can pray for them. In the meantime, take care of yourself and look in on those who are most vulnerable. Amen.